Woo! What's going on, guys? Orms Forum coming at you guys today. Doing a little bit of a late video today. That's okay though. I was going through Facebook and going through some Detroit Lions groups, and I came across a pretty cool article that I read. It was the title was, "Who do you think is the number one wide receiver in Detroit? Is it Kenny Golladay or Marvin Jones?" Okay, I'll give you my answer. I think it's Kenny Golladay, and I'll give you the reasons why. I love this kid's story. It's not a crazy, like feel sorry for you story or anything like that. But it's a feel good story about Kenny Golladay. This is a kid from Chicago, Illinois, that went to St. Rita of Cascia High School. Didn't get a lot of recognition coming out of high school. 2012, going into college. 247 Sports ranked 387 wide receivers in 2012, and Kenny Golladay was not on there. Okay? Then the same company, 247 Sports, ranked 3,102 total high school football players going into that same recruiting class of 2012. Kenny Golladay, again, was not ranked. Okay? So then he got one offer. He got one offer coming out of high school from North Dakota. Okay? He went to North Dakota. Played well there. Played pretty well. Only went there for 2 years. 99 catches, 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns in a 2-year deal at North Dakota. Okay? Then he decided he wanted to transfer. Some things happened at North Dakota. I think a couple of the coaches got fired. Some other things maybe happened. I'm not really too sure, but the main reason was that a couple coaches got fired, and I think he felt slighted. He was hurt, so he wanted to go elsewhere. He wanted to probably go to a bigger school because he probably realized, hey man, I can play at the college level. I want to go to a little bit of a bigger school. So this kid had to put together his own tape. Okay, so he put together his own tape. Had help from his high school coach. They put it out there, and 2 schools got a hold of him: Northern Illinois and Eastern Illinois. All right, so he chose Northern Illinois, right? He chose Northern Illinois because they were the bigger program. So he goes on to Northern Illinois and lights it up. Okay, 160 catches, 2,200 yards plus, and 18 touchdowns in 3 years. He was there for 4, but 2014 he didn't play. No, he was there for 3 years. I'm sorry, he was there for 3 years. He didn't play in 2014 though. He didn't play in 2014. He had to sit out probably because he transferred over, this and that. So this is a kid that had 259 yards, 259 catches, 3,598 receiving yards, 27 touchdowns, and a 4-year production. Because the 1 year he sat. So he did 5 years in college. Then you got to add 217 yards on the ground with 3 touchdowns too. So the kid got all kinds of ability, right? So this kid, then he goes on to play in the pros, right? He goes on to play in the pros, gets drafted by the Lions in the 3rd round, gets looked over 2-3 times by teams, and goes on so far in his early career as a Detroit Lion: 163 catches, 2,730 yards, 16.7 average, and 19 touchdowns. Broke out last year, had a pretty big year, over 1,100 yards, led the league in touchdowns with 11 or 12. Just had a really solid year. Now, this isn't a knock on Marvin Jones, but Marvin Jones he's a guy that's played behind guys like AJ Green in Cincinnati for 3-4 years, whatever he did over there in Cincy. He was a solid number 2. Guys, he's got 347 catches, over 5,000 yards, 14.5 yards average, and 42 touchdowns in an 8-year career so far. I think 4 in Cincy. I want to say 4 in Cincy, then has it already been 4 in Detroit? So 4 in Detroit. And you got to remember too, he came to Detroit after Calvin left, and he was the answer for the number 1 guy at the time. But we drafted Kenny Golladay the year that Marvin Jones came here. Pretty sure we did that. I'm gonna have to go look that up, but I'm pretty sure that we drafted Kenny Golladay the same year that Marvin Jones came over from Cincy. And Jones had a big had a pretty big year in 2017 with Detroit. Over 1,000 yards for sure. Handful of touchdowns. I think he almost got double digit. It was either 8 or 9. So he came in and he was the guy. But I just love Kenny Golladay. I love him, man. He's a 6'4" guy, 220-pound animal. He just gets no respect. Now, it comes down to the no respect thing with me. Again, about Kenny Golladay. I'm kind of piggybacking off that Pete Prisco article that I did a few days ago. And this, like I said, no knock on Marvin Jones, none whatsoever. But he is a number 2 wide receiver. Your number 1 guy in Detroit is Kenny Golladay. You can just tell year after year. He's only been here 3 years, but you can already tell that Stafford absolutely loves him. You could just tell. And then when Stafford went down, guys like David Blau, Jeff Driscoll were coming in and they were looking towards him. Now, he is your number 1 wide receiver in Detroit. Hands down. Hands down he is. But the good thing about it is that Marvin Jones could step in if something was to happen, knock on wood, and something was to happen to Kenny Golladay, which we don't want to see. But if you're gonna pick somebody to be your number 1 wide receiver in Detroit, and you're on the fence with it, I hope this video helps out a little bit. Kenny Golladay is the guy. He is the number 1 guy in Detroit, and I love that we have him. He's in a contract year. He's going to get paid a lot of money. He's gonna get OBJ money. He's gonna get $15-16 million easy per season, and it's just a good feel. It's a good story. It's a really good story. It's a kid that didn't get any recognition coming out of high school, no recognition coming out of college, lit it up in college, actually lit it up, and still went in the 3rd round. It just goes to show you that hard work and perseverance just shines, and it pays to be a hard worker. And Kenny Golladay is an example of that. He is a kid that works hard every day, and it shows on the field. It probably shows in the workout room. I guarantee you the kid's jacked. So, and I'm telling you, it's a nice story, and he's the number 1 guy in Detroit. So I just wanted to let you guys know that, in case you were wondering. Okay? So, yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'm going to try to come up with some other topics. This was a good one. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I'll try and do one again tomorrow. But yeah, I'm having fun, guys. So I should see you guys hopefully tomorrow. I'll be on the One Pride podcast now. I'm a part of those guys with Micro Mike, Troxel Sports, Noble Sports Entertainment, Gridiron Blitz, The Dern. Those guys brought me onto their team, and I'm super excited. I get to do a podcast with these guys. These guys are super knowledgeable, super fun, cool, man. I feel pretty at home with these guys, and I'm gonna try and do. I'm not gonna try. I am going to do my own video still, maybe a podcast of my own in the future. Who knows? But as of right now, man, I'm just rolling with this, and I'm having a blast, man. You know what I mean? It's just a good time. So I'm gonna come at you guys again tomorrow. Stay safe, and see you then. Bang.